Okay, guys, up next on the main card of the UFC Apex Fight Night tonight, we have Christos Giagos taking on Thiago Moises. To tell the tape, Christos Giagos is 32 years of age, 5'10", and a 19-9 record. Since he's come back to the UFC, he has a 4-3 record within the promotion. However, his best win is against Damir Hadzovic, who Demir was only one loss away from being cut, I believe, not too recently. Um, and obviously he beat Yancy Medeiros and keeps his job. But then if you look at Yagos's losses, he's not afraid to fight the top dogs. Saryukin, Charles Oliveira, Drakkar Close. Saryukin and Oliveira dusted him in the first round. Drakkar Close, I think, just bullied him for 3 rounds, basically. 19-9 record. He's the type of guy, I don't want to say journeyman to be disrespectful, but because he's got a 4-3 record in the UFC, I think the UFC are going to keep him around unless he goes on a big losing streak, because he can fill in for some cards, and there's a lot of guys in the kind of the bottom half, I suppose, of the lightweight pool that you can throw him in with. So anyway, Thiago Moises, 15-6 record, 27 years old, 5'9". He's 4-4 within the UFC. Now again, he's fought very good levels of competition. He only loses to really top ranked guys. He's lost two fights in a row. He lost to Islam Makhachev and Joel Alvarez. Now obviously Joel Alvarez beat him up quite badly. He's taken some time off. I thought he actually did quite admirably against Islam Makhachev. It took Islam Makhachev until round four, to get the finish there. He's also lost to Benil Dariush, who I think is number three right now or four in the division, and Demir Ismagulov, who is on the periphery of the rankings. So he's only losing to really good guys. But if you look at his four wins, he's beaten Michael Johnson. That was a very good win from and Bobby Green and Alexander Hernandez. All these guys have been in the rankings at one stage or another, and Moises, those wins over those opponents are very respectable. So it just goes to show that he is, I believe, around the top 20 range of the lightweight division, and he's just kind of in between cracking that top 15 spot and being outside it. I'm taking Moises first round sub because he was able to sub Michael Johnson early round two, and Yagos just loses to like levels of competition above the kind of the top 30. Like Drakkar Close is probably on a similar level to Thiago Moises. Drakkar Close bullied him, but due to Moises's BJJ ability, I think he taps him in the first round myself. But the fights to make after, I suppose, Drew Dober and Thiago Moises make sense. I think they have some common opponents. Certainly they both fought Islam Makhachev, and I just feel like that they're around the same level of rankings. Top 20. I feel that matchup makes sense. Christos Giagos, I think you keep him around. He would be a good scrap for Michael Johnson. You could have two guys that are entertaining fighters that the UFC want to keep around, because they have 40 fights a year to cover. So that's my prediction for that fight. Um, I just don't see Christos Giagos winning this fight. I could be wrong. Obviously, MMA is unpredictable, but um I think Moises is going to have a point to prove, because Moises, he was ranked, I do believe, at one stage, and he's after losing two fights. The last fight he lost badly to Joel Alvarez, and I think he's just going to come back with a point to prove to remind people, that he is he's no joke. He's no joke, and I think the level of competition he's faced. I mean, Islam Makhachev, Joel Alvarez, Demirs Magulov, Benil Dariush, these guys. I mean, you know, I'm not sure at the minute about Benil's record, but Demir Ismagulov has a 24-1 record. Islam Makhachev 21-1 record, or sorry, 22-1 record, and Joel Alvarez 19-3. Those records are ridiculous, and to be honest, Demir is probably unfortunate not to be in the rankings and not to be fighting higher ranked guys and to be getting bigger fights. I think it's because personality has such a big part to play in it. It's like anybody. Like, that's why Paddy Pimblett is like so big. He hasn't really beaten anyone, but he's huge because people get into it. And obviously, I'm a huge proponent in mental health and well being, and we all have our own stuff. And I don't know what's going on with Ismagulov. It might be. I'm not judging the guy. I love him, great fighter. I'm sure he's a great guy. But it might be like Tourette's or some kind of tic. But it's quite noticeable the last couple of times he fights. Every like 5 seconds, it's like that. Like he has some kind of a mental tic or some type of Tourette's, and I think it's unfortunate. I hope that he's able to conquer that, because I think maybe that could be holding him back, because the UFC are just gonna go with like. I think you know what I'm saying. I think you know what I'm saying. The UFC is looking for personalities that people can relate to, and I feel like, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But I believe that anything is possible, and hopefully he gets more comfortable in the octagon and he is able to get that under control, because I mean, he's got a 24-1 record, and he can be a serious threat in the division. I think he can be top 10 anyway. We'll have to see. And then that's basically all the fights we're breaking down on the main card. The 50-50 fight is Chris Curtis and Rodolfo Vieira. I'm not sure if I'll break that down, because that is an extremely 50-50 fight, and there's a heavyweight fight on the main card. But honestly, it's not even worth breaking it down. I don't know why they put these heavyweights so high up on the card, even if it's two fucking bums with like an eight. Well, I don't want to say bums, but with an 8-5 record going against each other, they seem to put them on like a feature fight of a fight night, just because they seem to go they seem to. The heavier the weight class, the higher the placing on the card. But those are basically all the fights we're breaking down. I'm not sure if I will make a video about Rodolfo Vieira and Chris Curtis. Because I don't want to do a disservice and just kind of talk for a minute about 50-50 blah blah blah. Either I'll make it and I'll give them the analysis they deserve, or I just won't bother and I'll just leave it that. I'll say it's a 50-50 fight, and either way I don't think it goes past the second round. I think it's going to be Rodolfo Vieira sub or a Chris Curtis TKO. Love Chris Curtis. He's the comeback king so far, and Rodolfo Vieira has cardio issues, but he has improved. So we shall see if I shall make the breakdown. Enjoy the fights, guys. God bless.